Alright, it's 9:38, something like that. I've got to head off and get up to the church in a little bit here. I'm going to take a shower real quick. And I did not actually get the audio system switched over last night. I was unable to do that, partially because of poor time management, and then it got really late and I was extremely tired and I didn't go up. Partially because the fact that in the back of my mind it was like, it's going to be very impractical to do this with a singular person army crawling for about a minute and a half to get onto the stage and plug in whatever you need to, then army crawling a minute and a half out just to go check if a certain light is on the soundboard or whatever. Maybe that's just an excuse. So it technically could have been done. On the other hand, doing something in that manner, in that inefficient manner, would it have been a good use of time? Probably not. But also, was the things that I did it particularly a good use of time? Also probably not, so. I watched probably the most entertainment media last night I did in a long time. I was watching the Flagrant 2 podcast with Joe Rogan, and I thought it was very good. The beginning was a little bit slow, but not the edit that Shifty did, but yeah, very good. It's just cool to see. Yeah, very funny. Okay, I just finished eating here, and actually it's wasted a good, 2 hours now on the couch just watching videos and stuff. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. I got home from church probably about 12. Yeah, I was watching a podcast, the Gideon and Logan Paul podcast, and just Logan Paul said, hey, bro, like, you need to pump it up to, like, once a week, twice a week. And you could tell in Gideon's face, like, that was going to be hard, and he was like, bruh. And then you could see the determination in his eyes, like, nah, I've got that. I can do that. And he's thinking about retiring at 25, bro. And that's just making me think, like, here I am. I'm not retiring until I die. Like, when I die, that's when I'll retire. And so if these people are working so hard and, like, have all this determination, and that amount of determination is getting them to whatever, Logan Paul's 26, 28, and Gideon's 21, he's going to quit at 20. If that's the amount of determination is getting them that far, then I need to have so much more than they have. I know I'm going to go so much farther than both of them. Like, both of them combined. And to be able to get to that point, I need to change so much. The weaker version of myself that would spend like the last 2 hours wasting time, obviously a person needs to think about the long-term view and the fact that you can't just be doing sprints and it's a marathon. But I can't be wasting. If that's actually what I want to achieve, like, it's easy to say that's what you want to achieve, but if that's actually what you want to achieve, then your actions need to be lining up with that. And sitting on a couch for 2 hours watching YouTube, I'm sorry, it doesn't line up with that. Like, my words are saying one thing, but if I'm sitting on the couch 2 hours watching YouTube, my actions are saying something else. And actions speak a heck of a lot louder than words. If I want to accomplish all of that, I need to become the version of myself that's in my head as soon as possible to allow that time frame to be a reality. Bro, the weaker Caleb needs to die. And I think that I need to implement more physical activity in my life to reprogram my mental activity. I think I need to get more physical with stuff. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm going up to the church to work on the sound setup. I don't know if Aunt Louise is even there anymore. And then after that, I guess I'm going to go into Lincoln and help Adam filming because I think he wants help filming and stuff. But, yeah. This was going to be the other thing I was going to say. If a person has one day where they're just on fire and they're on top of everything, and they, in that day, in that 24-hour period, are being the exact version of themselves that they envision themselves to be, that they want to be, you can't allow the success of that one day to allow for apathy in your life, because then the next day's messed up. Like, you can't allow yourself to become, that's bad, bro. Can't allow yourself to become content. There needs to be contentment, but you can't allow yourself to become satisfied with your own progress. Like, you can't have that mental trap of becoming satisfied. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you what I've been working on here, I guess. So I just took the speaker and put it down there. So previously, the church had been using that speaker and this mix board. However, that mix board, the power supply fried it, so we had to switch to this mix board. However, now that we're using this mix board, we can't use all of the wiring that was up through here and from the bottom of the stage because it uses wiring like that, and these all have to be plugged in like this. So we're using this mix board, so we have to have these plug-ins. So we had to end up running a snake from the bottom, which is like just a box that has a whole bunch of different plug-ins. That's an extender. Had to put it underneath there, run it up through the ceiling here, down, and into this thing there. However, to do that, I had to crawl underneath this stage over here and readjust all the cables and plug in all new cables to get everything running through correctly. However, we have been thinking to transition over to these speakers anyhow, and it's compounded by the fact that the amplification of that specific mix board isn't enough for this speaker, and that's due to the fact that you have to crank up the inputs on the, it is enough, but you have to crank up the inputs on the mix board way too much, and then it causes feedback versus these have built-in amplifiers, blah, 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 nobody cares. So under here is, essentially, I don't know if you can see, so yeah, essentially. Under there is where all the cords and plugging in stuff, and you have to army crawl underneath there. Whatever. Anyway, so I found the things that I need to buy. There's some issues with not having the right cables, blah, blah, to be able to plug in the speaker. So I found out what I need to buy on Amazon. I'm doing that. And in the meantime, I'm looking at this thing. It's kind of like this. Because of how long the arm is right there, the leverage causes it to wobble over if you extend it too long, and people don't stand close enough to the microphone. So I took these extra weights from home and tested them. They work. I'm gonna spray paint that so that the microphone can be extended longer, so the microphone's actually close enough that you can hear people, because people choose not to adjust themselves in such a manner that they can speak into the microphone well. Alrighty, I'm gonna go grab the spray paint from the house, I guess. Okay, I've wasted the past however many hours watching YouTube and different podcasts, and I was going to go back to the farm, but I'm exhausted. I'm going to go to sleep at the house here, I guess. I'm trying to decide if there's a correlation between how productive I am in being out at the farm versus being at the desert house. Probably doesn't have any correlation. I wonder if after so many years of just, I don't know, hanging out here and just whatever, doing whatever all day, being unproductive all day, like there's habitual links created between certain locations, and I don't know. I'm sure it's whatever you make of it, and that's just an excuse. But okay, good night.